5 Sons of the Forgotten. Chapter 4. The rain leaves the ground with no memory, everything washed back into the river. Where the footprints should be, puddles have gathered, still and murky. King Horus's corpse remains face down in the mud. Louisa crouches beside him and turns him over. She stares at him for a moment, thinking, uncertain what to do. There is no trail to chase, the rain has done its work too well. She lingers for a while. Then, with a long, weary sigh, she grips the king's arm and drags him toward her horse. Louisa lifts him and lays him across the front of the saddle. The king is a lean old man, even in death, his weight is little burden for someone as huge as her. She mounts and gives the horse a gentle nudge. It starts forward, carrying them slowly. Isabel sees the light before she hears the footsteps. A lantern, its flame caged in iron and glass, trembles with each approaching step. Whoever is coming is not in a hurry, the rhythm is sluggish. Then the girl comes into view, stirring dust that has not been disturbed in years as she walks deeper into the belly of the prison. Now she is dressed in more casual clothing, and in this light she looks closer to how Isabel once described her, a girl fit to dance before princes. A roasted deer hangs across her shoulder, its aroma struggling to compete with the stench of decay that fills the cramped cells. This forgotten prison is the perfect place to keep someone like Isabel, no one would think to look for her here. It has been abandoned for years, surrendered to spiders and the slow creep of darkness. Once, it held the war captives of Greenvale, though such need has long since passed, no one dares bring war to these lands anymore. They say that to invade the Greens is to wage war against the forest itself. The girl stops at a cell barred with thick, aging wood. Her eyes settle on Isabel. Her proud form looks smaller now, her knees tightly bound in thin strips of leather, the physician's hands have done their best to heal them. Isabel looks up and scoffs, turning her face away. No matter how hard she tries to hide her pain, it is written all over her. The girl hangs the lantern on a post, its glow barely reaches the corners. She crouches, draws a dagger from her belt, and begins to carve into the deer. It must feel good, Isabel says, forcing a smile. Having a redborn in your cage. The girl tears off a piece of meat and bites into it, chewing before she answers. Not as much as you think. A hunter goes for the great kill, not the small one. But a green learns to be content with what is caught, while preparing for what comes next. Isabel studies her, then exhales softly. Greenvale, Isabel says, as though expecting her to deny. You must be a daughter of an elder. The girl does not look up. How else would a girl like me learn to shoot? Isabel nods. But we are not so different, the girl says calmly. If you can stand in a war, why should a bow in my hand make me something more than I am? My mother is Louisa Hereward, Isabel replies, pride sharpening her voice. I know who your mother is. The girl's tone stays the same. I only wish my arrow had found her instead of her cub. Isabel lets out a dry laugh. You crippled me because you feared what I might do standing. The girl says nothing. She cuts another piece of meat and pushes it through the bars. Isabel stares at the piece of meat, weighing her pride against her hunger. Then she snatches it like a starved wolf and bites into the flesh, tearing it apart. I took your knees, the girl says, because killing you then would have been too easy. Do not mistake this for mercy. I am feeding you so I can kill you properly. Isabel chews, swallows, and smiles faintly. Little girl, what is your name? Isabel asks, leaning forward. The girl tightens her hold on the dagger as she cuts another piece of meat, harder this time. Killing your kind is a dream I have had too often, she says, pushing another piece through the bars. Now I will do it awake. And you will be the first. Isabel takes it, slower this time, her eyes fixed on the girl's face. Then do it, she says. Now is your chance. Put the blade in my heart. What is it you are trying to prove? She cuts another piece of meat, smaller this time. She thrusts the meat into the cell and gathers the remaining parts of the deer as though she has just finished feeding her pet. My grandfather used to tell me a story, she says, lifting the lantern from its hook. There was a warrior whose name ended wars before they began. Villages emptied at the sound of it. Mothers hid their sons. Kings paid tribute without being asked. She raises the lantern, and its light spills across Isabel's face. He said the warrior believed the name would protect him forever. That fear was a thing you earned once and kept for life. So he grew careless. He let men look at him too long. Let them see him bleed. And when they stopped fearing him, they remembered something else. That legends are made of flesh. That bones break the same. She lifts the lantern higher. My grandfather said the warrior did not fall in battle, he fell the day people realized they no longer needed to be afraid. And that is how legends become small. She turns and walks away, the light retreating with her.